Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a problem that every single one of us has faced. How to write a professional email when you are feeling, well, anything but professional. And we're going to use a surprisingly simple technical framework to do it.
You know that feeling, right? Your heart's pounding, your fingers are just flying across the keyboard, you're laying out every single frustration, and then you stop. And you just stare at that blinking cursor hovering over the send button. You know you can't send that. But what are you supposed to do?
This right here, this is that raw, unfiltered feeling. It's pure emotion. But here's the secret. Buried inside all of that anger are the actual critical facts that you need to communicate.
And this is the core of the problem. Your goal is simple. It's direct. Pay me what you owe. But if you take your angry email and ask some generic tool to make it professional, you get this. I hope this finds you well. It just turns all that fire into this weak, apologetic mush. You do not hope they are well. You want to get paid. Okay, so the solution starts with a concept called the vomit draft. The key here is to stop trying to edit yourself. Instead of holding back that anger, you embrace it. You treat it like raw data. That first emotional reaction is actually a super valuable first step because it contains all the important information.
So now that you have this raw data, you need a tool to process it. And that's where this comes in, the anger management stack. Think of it like a structured workflow that uses a specific command to basically sanitize the emotion without losing the core message you need to send. The whole protocol is just 3 simple steps. First, you write the raw truth. That's your vomit draft. Second, you use what's called the stack to build a command that filters it. And third, you review the clean, professional output. Let's just walk through a real example. So, step 1, you just get it all out. And notice, even though it's angry, all the key facts are in there, right? The deadline was Tuesday, it's now Friday, you don't have the files, and there's a new deadline with a very clear consequence. All the important data is there, it's just, wrapped in a lot of frustration. Now, step 2, this is where you really take control. You build the stack. You use the refactor command. You tell it the exact tone you want. But honestly, the most important part, it's the constraints. You are explicitly telling the system, do not apologize, and preserve the ultimatum. This is how you keep your power in the conversation. And look at that. This is the result. It is so clean, it's direct, it's professional. All of the emotion is just stripped away, but the facts and, crucially, the ultimatum are perfectly intact. It honestly sounds like a lawyer wrote it, not someone who was seeing red just 5 minutes ago.
Let's look at another one. On the left, you've got pure emotional noise. On the right, a clear, factual signal. See, this whole process isn't about deleting what you feel. It's about extracting the critical facts from what you feel. See how the personal attack, "Are you incompetent?" is just gone. But the key data, things like "this is my third request," and the urgency, "provided immediately," that's all perfectly preserved. It keeps the spine of the message, but it removes the sting.
Okay, so this is a really good question, and you might be thinking it yourself. Why go through this whole vomit draft thing? Why not just ask an AI to write the email for you from the beginning? And the answer gets to the heart of why this method is so much more powerful.
It's because your vomit draft is the ground truth. When you provide all those raw facts yourself, you prevent the AI from hallucinating, which is really just a fancy way of saying it's making stuff up to fill in the gaps. The dates, the names, the deadlines, it's all accurate because it came directly from you.
So what are the big takeaways here? What's your new communication filter? First, stop filtering your input. Filter your output instead. Second, use a command like Refactor to sanitize the emotion. And finally, use constraints to keep your strength. Forbid apologies, get rid of weak words. That ensures your tone stays assertive and professional. This kind of leaves us with one final thought. We've just spent all this time talking about how to control your own output. But what about the other side of the coin? How can you use this same kind of thinking to process the messy, emotional input you get from other people and pull out the facts that actually matter? If you want to dive deeper into this whole way of thinking, the original source material for simplified technical programming foundations is available on Gumroad. That's it for this one. Thanks for joining us.